Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It is April 26th, and we are live for your questions, my answers to bookkeeping and accounting and taxes, if you must. I have to do something really quick. We're getting this started. Hey, Mandy, welcome. Glad to have you. I literally just did a update to the workbook and sent out okay, what the world? Oh, there it is. Send out a message saying that I had updated it and found a mistake. So I'm just gonna update. I fixed it. And it's fixed. Save changes are saved. Yay! Oh, Mandy, did you go get the new one? If not, go get the newest one. Mandy says no questions from me right now. I'm just here to absorb. Roberto Rueda. Roberto is here. Welcome. Glad to have you. Mandy has not opened the workbook yet for the year. She says 2022 was hard and scary. But guess what? If you go get the new version and open it, you're going to find out how not scary it actually is. I promise you. And I have some hacks today. So what I'm going to do is, since I have the changes saved for a brand new update, I didn't think that I was going to add anything more to it, but I did. And I hope you guys like it. But I'm fixing to show it to you. So, hey, Marcus. Dixon's Pickens in the house. If you guys are not subscribed to his channel, go get there. Go do it. You will not be disappointed. So I'm going to share my screen. Hi, Zachary. Welcome. And talk to you guys a little bit about my newest updates. So let me get this thing out of the way. Kristen is here. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you all. Thank you. I'm so excited. It's only 4 minutes in and there's 8 people already. Yay. So hopefully you guys will be just as excited as I am about what I'm going to show you. Debbie says, hi, Debbie. Debbie says, is this the package you have for sale for resellers? I am thinking about getting that. Yes, actually, it just got a facelift, a couple of little updates, and we have a Poshmark calculator in here now. And I updated the home office expense calculator, added some more juicy stuff to that, and for all of you that are what's the word I'm looking for? Overachievers. How's that? An overachiever. I now have 8 sources of revenue for the workbooks. So you can have up to 8 sources of revenue. Um, and, and again, I mean, nobody asked me for more, but I was noticing that if you sell outside of the platforms, or maybe you sell across multiple platforms, that sometimes like most of us maybe use PayPal, but maybe you're in a place where you have to use Stripe, or one of the other um, credit card processing solutions. So like I have mine set up for PayPal and Zelle, for example, so that I can get those additional things in there. Mandy says, okay, here's my question. What additional sources of revenue can you come up with for me? You know what? That's a very personal question. However, I am working on something for that. So I have a website that I'm getting built right now, and as part of my website, once the initial portion gets up, then I'm going to be adding in some other revenue sources so that I can learn them and then help you guys with them too. Okay, so you guys know that I'm on eBay. Obviously, I'm on eBay, and then I've dabbled a little bit in Poshmark. I'm not currently doing anything with them, although I still have listings up. I've dabbled a little bit with Whatnot, and just can't get. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't want to do the lives. Um, but I am looking at. I'm not a big fan of Shopify. However, my website that's being built is going to be built with WooCommerce in mind. So I'll be using that and have to do the plugins and various things, and then figure out about the taxes and the whole 9 yards. So I will have those things in my repertoire to help and guide you all with, no matter what you decide to do. Maybe do a spin off of some of the things that I'm doing, and get you another source of revenue going. But I'm all about not having all my eggs in one basket. However, I don't cross list my newest stuff to other platforms. So that's just me. You can do what you want to. I don't want to keep up with it. So, all right. Marcus says, nice. How do we update the current one we have? Okay, so it would be a copy and paste. And I think what I will do is figure out a way to make a video showing you guys like how to copy and paste it over. If you do have trouble doing that, then we will I'll do a video, and if you have trouble, then reach out. Maybe I can do like a smaller group thing in Zoom, and we can just schedule it to so that people can jump in Zoom, and I can help you guys more directly, and not live on YouTube. So Biani, hi, welcome. And Kristen says, agreed about keeping up with it. Cross listing is too much. Yes. So I do use Export Your Store. I'm not currently using it either, but I am keeping it active because it does work very well. I was doing my oldest listings from export from eBay to Poshmark, and that was what I was putting up there. But I was only putting a small amount at a time, and that was more manageable using Export Your Store. A friend fellow reseller Nirvana group member, is actually doing quite well with using Export Your Store and putting a lot of his listings over on Poshmark. He's doing really well with it, and is getting consistent sales over there now. It's taken a few months, but he's doing that. Um, I do plan on putting my store over on WooCommerce on my site once all that gets built. But I'm doing that more because of the items that I sell and knowing who my client is and wanting to help them, make it easier for them, make it more confidential for them. So, that being said, let's take a look at the updates that I did. So, if you have a very old version of this, then I did talk about, excuse me, one moment. Sorry about that. So I did on January, the first live of the year, went over the newest version, and there are some updates, and I'll just kind of go through all of it really quick. So now this one workbook, whether you come back and you get updates or not, you can go backwards and forwards in it. If you look at the yearly changes tab, you can change the first day. I mean, you can change the year there. You can change the mileage rate. And what I have done is I have put in here back to 2021, which is when the workbook started. I put in the mileage rates for each year. I'm going to keep it with the double because of last year. Who knows if they might try and do that again. So I figure if it doesn't hurt to have the two amounts in there, and if they're the same, they're the same. And if the IRS decides halfway through the year to change it like they did last year, then we're already ready. We just need to plug in the new number. One of the updates that I did was other miscellaneous expense part 5, because a lot of us are using this particular category for continuing education and subscriptions. I went ahead and put those two in, but we still have one that is general, and then you can just stick that in the whatever it is in the why or the what. That's really the only reason that you would need to use the why or what section under the expenses. All right, so continuing on, average cost of goods calculator, the pivot table that I had in here at the beginning of the year, I took it out. It was not working properly. It was doing weighted averages. I did not like it. So I went back to what I was doing originally, which it just totals all of the items that you've purchased and all of the costs that you've spent and gives you a straight average across the board. However long you choose to keep this, whether you're looking at a month at a time, or whether you keep it running for the full year, that is up to you and what your turnover is in your store. Obviously, when we first get started at the beginning of the year, because this is the workbook is meant for 1 year at a time, right? So when we get started at the beginning of the year, our costs are going to be a little higher, unless we have a consistent source where where the amount that we're spending doesn't really change, in which case you don't really need this particular page. But as time goes by, things are going to fluctuate, and this is how you keep up with it. Expenses. So a lot of people keep following the convention that I put in with the period, but you don't have to type in a period. You just type in 2523, and it formats it with the period. So type in your date normally, and don't worry about the way I formatted it. I should probably change that for everybody else. I just think it's such a clean look. That's why I use it. Categories, again, you just drop down, scroll through, pick the category that corresponds to your expense, type in who the expense was for and the amount. Again, this why or what column, you don't need to use it unless it is for that itemized category or you have a question about the expense that you're entering. And if you have a question about the expense that you're entering, then you can put that in here so that you can talk with your accountant, your preparer, or myself, which could be all of the above. And um, and then we can clarify what category you need to actually use. For most of us, office expense is not going to be a category that we should use. Okay. Office expense is meant for like doctors' offices, lawyers' offices, things like that, where they have people coming in. Maybe they have a coffee service. Maybe they have somebody coming in to water their plants and things like that. That's what office expense truly means. So don't use office expense because most of you don't have that kind of an office. All right. So Kristen says, oh crap, I've been using it for shipping. Shipping should be cost of goods, other costs. Anything to do with your items getting from you to your customer, including purchasing your items, all needs to go into cost of goods section. So we have three, excuse me, three pieces of that puzzle. We've got our inventory purchases. We've got the materials and supplies. Those are the costs associated strictly with the labels and poly mailers and boxes, the things, the tape that we use to get our items from us to our customer. And then other costs is going to be all of our shipping, all of our platform fees, things like that. Marcus says he's been using office expense all wrong, except I corrected all of that when we did your taxes earlier this year. So you're good, or at least you were good for last year. And Kristen says, I think I've been confused because of QuickBooks. When I did my taxes this year, all the shipping went into office expense. Yes. So my partner is the QuickBooks guru. If you need help getting your QuickBooks straightened out, then she would be the person to talk to. You could set up a consult with her or give her access to your QuickBooks and she would fix everything for you. I personally don't like it. So she does all the QuickBooks stuff and I do all the Excel stuff. So that way we work very, very well together. Marcus says, what are my shelves and computer monitors under? Just stick them into supplies. That's fine. Debbie says, does the Excel spreadsheet workbook package include a description on what lines are for what and how to use it? What the workbook itself doesn't, but in the workbook or in the email that you get, it does have a link or a PDF. If not, reach out because I have a PDF. So no worries. I can get you a PDF with the descriptions. Kristen says, I'm using your spreadsheet now instead. Yay! Scott says, I think I put a lot in the wrong categories. Sorry. No worries. I fixed them. And just so that you guys know, if you are a client and you sent me your workbook before I did your taxes, I fixed your categories. So a lot of times that took me longer to actually process your taxes because I fixed your categories. um, so Dixon's Pickens, Marcus says a subscriber asked me if you offer this in a Google Doc. I originally did offer this with Google Docs and it just does not work properly. So I quit supporting Google Docs. Excel is available for free to use it online. And I do have several people using the open source products like Open Office and Libre, and there's another one, all three of which are linked in the email that you get when you get the workbook. And I think they may also be shown and they may also be shown when you just go to the page. So anyway, there are 4 free options. You don't have to pay for Excel in order to use it. Let's see. Kristen says, what do you charge to do taxes for us? So it is $350 for your regular 1040 and Schedule C, one schedule. So if you have one Schedule C, then it's $350. It goes up from there. But for most people with a small business, it's going to be $350. And then state, whether or not you have state, is included. KT Treasures, hi, welcome. It's okay, no problems. We're only 22 minutes in. And Dixon's Pickens says, I thought you had that as an option at one point. Yeah, I did. It didn't work. I was doing more fixing and correcting than and I don't have the time to do that anymore. So I just let it go. Mandy says, so instead of paying that nasty TT one, pay Cheryl and she won't mess it up. There we go. Scott says, we get Microsoft Office for $9.99 a month. I pay $70 a year. It's like $69.99. I pay it for the year. And but I mean, I use it all the time. For me, it's worth it. I prefer to have it on my computer. I can have it on all of my computers at that price. It's just me. So Mandy says, I'm having you do mine next year. Yay. And KT Treasure says, I want to learn from you as much as I can. Great. And I'm glad you're here. And all of these are recorded. So you can go back and listen, but I am going to do this every single week. And I'm trying to talk my partner into doing a QuickBooks training, question and answer, maybe highlight a feature. So if you guys would like to see anything regarding QuickBooks, or if you have questions that maybe you want to ask her and get a different take, then throw it in the chat. We want Kim. We want Kim. And I will make sure that she sees your comments so that she'll come on. Because so far, when I sent her the message this morning about maybe doing some stuff for QuickBooks one Wednesday a month or a different day if it made more sense for her, then she chose to not respond to me. So she doesn't want to be on camera. I can't convince her that she doesn't have to be on camera. Tracy, welcome. Glad you finally made it here. Yay. All right. So, oh, and Tracy, this is going to really help you out today too. So let's get back to the thing. So, anything to do with your costs of goods. So your purchases for inventory, your supplies, your materials to get your items from you to your customer, your platform fees and your shipping, all of that kind of stuff, all goes into the cost of goods sold, other costs. So moving on, we're going to run through this real quick. I say real quick, I'm sorry, I've already talked a lot. And then I'm going to go back and show you a hack that I did last month so that you guys can be ready for when we do our bookkeeping next week. You can try this hack. So mileage, you guys know about the mileage. We still got enough there for 4 vehicles. Here we go. The totals, there's 8 spots for revenue. Oh, and I forgot about this one. I added projected income. So now it totals all of that for each month and projects your income. So let's just say we did 5,000 on this platform and 2,000 on this one, and we did 10,000 on whatever this one is. And we come down here and look, and for that month we made $17,000, and we're projected to do $204,000 if everything continues the same for the year. So it's projected gross, which is what we want to deal with. We can see our expenses and things as we add those in, but this is projected gross income for the year. So hopefully that will help you. If you are in the Nirvana group, then you know that Tech has been doing 2 calls every week. On Tuesdays he's been doing 2 calls, and it's for the first group is for the ones that are projected to do $100,000 up to, is it 200 or 250? I think it's 250. So 100,000 up to 249,999. And then the second call that comes after that is for the people that are doing 250 and above. So yeah, Kimmery says 250. Mandy says she just joined the 100K call this week. Fantastic. So happy to have you guys in there. I have not been able to get into the call the last few weeks. Not due to my income. I'm still projected over 100K this year, and I'm super excited about it. I just have been super busy with the tax season, finishing up the tax season. I still have a couple of stragglers, and then getting back into my eBay, getting back into the swing of things. So, all right. So again, we've got 8 sources of revenue now and projected income on the total snapshots page. Nothing has changed with the eBay number tracking. We now have Poshmark in here. So if you have Poshmark, then you can go download, and I have the instructions up here at the bottom. So you can go download the CSV file. You just copy and paste it from the CSV file straight into here. So it's simple, super simple. Just copy and paste. If anybody has any trouble, I will have to do a video on how to copy and paste. I have a video on how to copy and paste. I do. It was one of the first videos I did. Once you copy and paste your info into this red tab, then you're going to come over here to this blue tab, right click, refresh, and that will populate the information. When you get the totals, you're going to put the total order price total in this column, and you're going to put the net total in this column, and you will get what your fees were for the month. Because Posh is adding in cancellations, shipping discounts, and refunds, returns to your sales. That is not right. Okay? So we got to make sure that we capture all of those expenses to take off on our taxes so that we're not paying taxes on money that they got. Let's see. Kimmery says, then there is the 2 million plus goals. Okay. I didn't hear about that one. And yeah, I'm just not there. I've got too many things that I want to do. I'm not against making money. I want to live. I got all this gray hair. I ain't got that. I'm on the downhill side. I figure, at best, I've got 47 years left. I want to live those. I'm going to slide into my casket and I'm going to look like I've lived those. How's that? So Roberto asked if I have eBay like that too. So eBay has the eBay number tracking, and that you get to see all of your stuff either week by week or month by month. You get to see all of that information. Okay. And last but not least, I updated the home office expense calculator. So I want you guys to, there's a note up here at the top that says, the expenses calculated here are important. However, they won't get used unless your net business income is in the positive. They will get carried forward to a future year. So please keep an accurate account of all home expenses and make sure your preparer adds them to your taxes each year. Okay? Because even if you can't use them, you want them added because they will carry forward, but they cannot carry forward unless they have been added. So these expenses, all of this information right here needs to go on the 8529 so that each year it can be added until you are in a profit and you can use some of that. All right. The same thing goes with the qualified business income deduction. It won't get used if you're in the negative, but it will get carried forward. All right. So repairs and maintenance, that's anything that you do to your house. And I want you to use this home office expense calculator for indirect expenses. So these are things that are not happening in your office, in your inventory space, right? If you paint your office or you put new flooring down in your office space, your inventory space, then put those repairs and maintenance on the regular Schedule C. For here, I want you to if you paint your house, if you paint a room, if you put new flooring in, if you get your grass cut, if you have power washed, if you get snow removal, anything that pertains to you, type over these. You don't have to use what's there. All right. So pretty much everybody's got electric. Some people don't pay for water though. So if you don't pay for water, type over and use put there what you need. I added more spaces. Type in any indirect home expense that you have. If it's a repair and maintenance, then put repair and maintenance mowing, repair and maintenance pressure wash, whatever you need to do so that you are keeping up with all of your expenses. Over here on the left-hand side, one of the things that I realized during tax season was it would be helpful if this number was already available to your tax preparer. So go to your county assessor website and grab the fair market value of your home for the year that you started your business. Plug it in here. If your tax preparer has done that for this year, last year, the year before, whatever, go grab it off your taxes, plug it in, the value of the land, because it gets depreciated each year, right? Any major improvements to your property. So let's say you put in a whole new heating and air system. All right. Maybe that should be depreciated instead of just expensed. So stick that into this section over here, and then just just type over this and say what it was, so that your preparer knows what to type in. Let's say you had a new deck put on, a new garage built. I don't know. You guys know what you guys do to your home, right? So whatever those expenses are that are larger, depreciable expenses that improve the value of your home long term, add those things here and add the value here, so that those things can be depreciated as part of your home office expense calculator. All right. So that is the updates in a nutshell. Well, I don't know about nutshell. 36 minutes to get through all the updates. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. I'll leave this up in case anybody wants to keep looking or has any questions about it. Let's see. KT Treasures, Cheryl, is it best to send an email question or contact on Facebook Messenger? Either one. Email, though, at least then, like, we can more easily follow and track the flow of the conversation. If I need to print something, I can print it. I can't do that from Facebook Messenger. So I'm trying to get away from Facebook Messenger. Although if you have a quick question, preferably if it's not on the weekend, I don't care if you use it during the week, but if it's on the weekend, do me a favor, send me an email, because I have a issue with feeling compelled to respond, and then my hubby gets mad at me because I should be in the moment with my family. So if you want to use Facebook Messenger, try to use that during the week, and then use email on the weekends if it's quick questions. And I'm happy to try to respond to any other questions that I get. Let's see. Zachary, is there a video on how to use the eBay number tracking tab? So the January video goes over the tabs a little more detail, but the eBay number tracking tab is fairly easy in that it is all the information is on the if you look right here, it says eBay. It's got the link to the page to get the information from. So if you go to your performance sales tab in eBay, then the only things that you have to save outside of eBay is what your average cost of goods is for the month. There's the tab for that. How many you listed. You've got to figure out your own way of doing that. Everybody has their own way. I personally use my planner that sits on my desk in front of me, and I write down how many I list every day. If you have a goal that you never miss, then if it's 10 a day, then you know that you've listed at least 300 or 310 a month, unless it was February. And then all the rest of this information you get from eBay. It fills itself out. This is so that you can easily see week by week by week, month by month by month, because while the information is available to you on eBay, it's not, you can't see it in this way. It compares itself to the last whatever time period you got, but you can't see all of the numbers right next to each other. And I have found this very helpful. Like, I don't use the week one anymore. I just use the month one. But I found it very helpful to see, okay, did I slack on my listings? Did my sales really drop when I had that couple of days? Or overall, how did I do? Right. So I see a lot of comments in the Facebook group, in the Reseller Nirvana Facebook group about, my sales are down, my sales are down. When in all actuality, they took a dip for a day or they took a dip for a couple of days, but maybe you had a huge sales day or huge sales week earlier, or you've got one that's coming up that you just don't know about yet. But for the month as a whole, you haven't lost anything. You've actually gained. So we got to get away from looking this at these numbers like at a day. Even a month is an awful short period of time. So, but to look at it month over month over month, to see our store growing, the things changing, and realizing, keeping notes of what we did we do a different sale, did we change, what changes that we make, then we can accurately make decisions, best decisions for our business. All right, let's see. Mandy says, I can't believe how much these home expense numbers helped me. They're huge. They make such a big difference on our taxes, and so many people are not using them. Roberto says, what if every 3 months the expenses? That's fine. Then if the expenses are every 3 months, then just put it in, January, April, July, whatever month you pay it in, just stick it in for that month. Okay. KT Treasures has a big question for me about her daughter and husband. So sure, shoot me an email. That would be the best thing to do. My link tree and my email is in the description for the video. So just grab that there, or it's SA with Cheryl at gmail.com. So SA, Simplified Accounting, SA with CHERYL at gmail.com. And let me see, do I have that in a banner? What's this? That's where you get let's see, what's this one? Okay, so let's see. I will just SA with Cheryl at Gmail. There we go. SA with Cheryl at gmail.com. There is a new website coming. I'm working on getting a new email thing for that. So that'll end up being Cheryl at saucecheryl.com probably. So anyway, there's the email. And I'm going to take that back off the screen and get back over here to comments. Scott says, what do you use for cost of goods? For instance, April. Do I just use April 1st through April 30th or January 1st through April 30th? So that's up to you. I personally use whatever a number is at the top of the screen come April 1st. So if I'm in my average cost of goods calculator and we are, at the end of April, and then this thing says $5, then I just plug in $5 because that's what my inventory turns over, but not that quickly. So I don't keep up with really how quickly it turns over and stuff. I just use whatever the average number is when I go to enter it for the new month. All right. take these out before I forget. Right. So that's everything for the workbook. I've been going over that. I've only answered a few questions. Does anyone have any questions that you need answered? We've got like 15 minutes left, and then I have to jump off because I've got 2 consultation calls right after this. So just remember, this happens every week now. So unless, and I don't think maybe July, but unless unless I'm on vacation, this is going to happen every week. Okay. I don't have a eBay tracking video link. I don't have a link that's just about that page. But my January live in here in YouTube, let me see if I completely forgot the hack. Let me find the link for the January live right quick. Let me see if I can do that. And all right. And live. And February. January 4th live. Share, copy. Okay. Hey, James. If you guys have not joined Bold Finds YouTube, go join his YouTube channel. He's over there in the UK having a blast reselling. He's a lot of fun. So join his YouTube. Make sure you got Marcus with Dixon's Pickens. Marcus is great. He's a lot of fun. Vianney says, questions from workbook only? No, not just the workbook only. I do want to really quick go over this hack so everybody is ready for next week. I completely forgot about the hack. So I did this last month. And what I did was, and this is actually from my bank account, but I took out any identifying information. So we're going to split my screen here. And all right. So this is information from my bank account. And what I did, and like I said, I took out any identifying information. However, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. If anybody needed to know about copy and paste, this is how we do it. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to copy all of the dates. And then we're going to go over here to the date column and click the first available box. And we did Control C or copy for that side. And then over here, we do Control V or paste for that side. And then we don't do anything with the categories. We come back over here and we're going to grab all of the description and Control C for the description and come over here to the first blank that matches the first date category. The first date box. And we're going to Control V or right click and paste. Then we're going to come back over here and we're going to grab all of the debit. Again, Control C, and paste. So, daggone, I spent a lot of money in April. So now, if you had all of the information that I had when looking at this, then I would be able to come over here and choose the category that it went with. So now I don't have to go through every individual receipt and type all that information in. I still need to keep the receipts, right? I still need to keep the receipts. But I don't have to type all that stuff in. I just now need to go back and grab what category it goes to. Okay? So it took me a lot less time. The only other thing that I have to do is make sure that I have accounted for any of the cash stuff. I do have to go back and, like, if you have a credit card, then you got to do the same thing with a credit card. Make sure you always keep all your receipts. But anyway, I hope that helps someone. What I did was, when I went to my bank account, I was able to choose just the debit stuff. That's all I wanted, was just the debit stuff. So point of sale, debit, check, just click the debit stuff and then download to a CSV file. And then that's how I got this file, so that I could just copy and paste it into my workbook. So I hope that helps someone. All right, let's see. KT Treasure says, well, maybe this would help someone else. The kids took all tax paperwork to a preparer, and that set up in Walmart is gone. The paperwork not returned and taxes not filed. What do? Uh-oh. So usually that's like Jackson Hewitt. You need to contact the office that's closest, the Jackson Hewitt, or whatever preparer that was sitting in Walmart. You need to contact them, the office that's closest to there, or the corporate office, and find out. Jackson Hewitt. Okay, so that's ridiculous. I would expect that the local office to there has their information, has their papers. That's a horrible situation. If that doesn't work, you can go to the IRS website and you can download a transcript for the year. So they would go in and they would have to put their information in. They'd make this account, put their information in, and then they would have access to I'm not positive whether I think they'd have to each one of to do it. But then what it does is, whatever W-2s got into the IRS, any 1099s that got sent into the IRS, everything that got sent in and reported to the IRS is going to be on that transcript. And then that transcript can be used to file their taxes. If you need any help with that, reach out. I will see what I can do. If you shoot me a message, I'll find the actual link for the IRS to get your transcripts if you can't find it. All right, well, we got like 5 minutes left. I mean, Better Business Bureau, you can always report them to the Better Business Bureau. That's, yeah. I've not ever personally heard of something like that happening, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me, which I guess is sad. I mean, it happens. People. I know individuals that have dealt with, single businesses like mine that have just up and disappeared with all their stuff. I suggest that you never give anyone your original files. Always make copies. Make copies. Don't email this stuff. Have it put into something like Dropbox or something like that. Most of those places like Jackson Hewitt and H&R Block and stuff like that, the reason that they can get your taxes done so quickly, and you're usually sitting right there, right? You make an appointment, you're sitting right there. It's because they don't ask you any questions. It's whatever information that you give them. So if you don't know the information that you need to have available to give to them, then you're missing out on deductions. That's why I've tried to make the workbook as comprehensive as it is, so that if you use me, my partner, or someone else, you're giving them as much information as you possibly can. It's all on you to make sure that you collect the information and have it presented in a way that they can use it, right? I get the information from my clients, and then I have lots of questions, because being a reseller and looking at what I'm being sent is like, okay, where's your home office expenses? Where's your house? Where's this? Where's your platform fees? You have no idea how many people that I have seen that did not have their platform fees put into their expenses in whatever method that they sent me. So, I mean, 40% for eBay. Everybody's fees are right around 40% for eBay. Do you really want to pay taxes on 40% more money than what you actually received? I don't think so. But I knew to look for it, and most places don't, or most people won't. They're just going to do what you have. They're going to do your taxes what you give them. So if you're now questioning your taxes, then go back and look at what your bookkeeping was. Did you take your fees out? So that's just one of the things. Of you that are not tracking your mileage, shame, shame, shame. Let's get it done. Come on, we're almost 4 whole months in. And there's people that have come out on their own, said that they haven't even cracked their bookkeeping for this year yet. So my goal is to help you not only get your bookkeeping and help be comfortable with it, have it cause anxiety, right? And then it comes down to the end of the year, when the first week of January rolls around, all of your bookkeeping is going to be done, because we're going to hit that first Wednesday in January, and we're going to say, all right, here it is. Everything's entered. And we're ready. We're ready for taxes. We're ready to rock and roll for 2024. Okay? So let's get moving on 2023. And I will see you right here next week to knock out April's bookkeeping. Next week, right here. Okay? All right. Any questions? Reach out. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I got to run. My client's waiting on me. Have a great day. Bye.